Hey, and welcome back. So I took a day break away from electronics, and it was really good to get away for a bit. Obviously, not good to for the board gaming's sake, because I actually didn't play any board games either. I tried to get outside and pretend like I enjoy it. No, I'm just kidding. I do enjoy it. It's just all my hobbies tend to shy away from it. I believe we're getting ready to get started here, and we're going to go after this troll. Whether or not that was the right choice, I don't know. But I think that if we have to kill a troll, that seems like an easy enough objective, at least from trying to figure out what the scenario wants us to do. Excuse me. So I'm recording on a Sunday afternoon. It is beautiful outside. I should be outside again today, to be quite honest. And I was for a couple hours before I came here. But the sunlight is coming into this room at enough levels that I don't need to put those big lights on that are causing the glare. And I hope you're noticing that. You can see the device pretty well. The one thing I have to confess to you, as my age is increasing and I've gone above, 25, my ability to see in low light is getting progressively worse. So those big glaring lights that cause all the glare for you guys is what's necessary for me to be able to read these cards and the components. So I'm going to struggle a little bit, but that's okay. There is quite a bit of light from the outside in here, and I'll make do. I can't necessarily see far away, so I'm going to have to pull cards closer to me to be able to read them. But that's okay. I need to do that anyways to show them to you on the camera. And we know a lot of the cards just got upgraded, so we may have to take it slow anyways. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, we're at 11, and I just made a decision that some of these skills do seem to be decent, but I want skills that provide success. So we're going to just not spend any experience points. And the reason Gimli is lower is, if you recall, there is a skill that costs 7, one of the medium skills, that actually does provide a success, whereas none of the other classes seem to have that. Also, as we've played this, I'm starting to believe that Barivor is a better suit to the way I play than Elena. I'm finding that I'm not really using her songs very much. I do like the one that gives out the inspiration tokens, and I don't want to dismiss her as useless. I'm not trying to say that, but I think Barivor is just an overall better character. And also, I took a look at that staff that she wields. It does stun and some pretty good damage. So there's some factors there that play in, but that's where I'm at. And I also think that Bilbo, although he is using some pretty cool darkness skills, the burglar has given him some nice darkness abilities. I think Bilbo could actually be the musician. And then we can have Barivor being another attacky type of character, can go out and start busting some chops. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to change that now, of course. I'm just, telling you that as we've played, I'm starting to lean one way or another. Like the musician class, I'm not sure I would get rid of. I just don't think I need to have... I think if there's a class I would get rid of, it might be the burglar. The guardian class seems to have paid off. You know what? Another class that we might be able to easily get rid of is the hunter class. I am not so far using any of the hunter abilities, if you recall. Legolas keeps, anytime he draws one, he just uses it for the success, puts it on top of his deck. The only thing that's cool about the hunter class is this resourceful, because you start the game with an inspiration. And for Legolas, since he has to use one to get a free move, it actually has been extremely valuable at the beginning of games. So I don't want to say it's been useless, but maybe if there's one character I should get rid of, or one character class, the hunter is actually a strong candidate. Even that level 12 skill, or the third level skill that costs 12 points, I'm not very thrilled with them. So the hunter class has not been, at least with my playstyle again. Remember, I'm sure there's somebody with different playstyles that it suits them. The hunter class I found myself using the musician class way more than a hunter. So I would get rid of Alina because her abilities and skills are not that good, but Baravor's is better, and then the staff is better than the dagger, etc. But I would probably say we should get rid of the hunter class more than anything. So then we can make Legolas the Pathfinder, and we can make Baravor the burglar. I mean, I know, or Baravor the musician, for that matter. I don't know what the right call is there. I would say I would make Bilbo the musician because the dagger is a one-handed weapon, and he can't equip a harp at the same time because he can only equip one. Anyways, it's not worth talking about that anymore. Let's go ahead and get started. And we're not going to change any of the classes. And off we go. Okay, everybody gets a Scout 3. I've already shuffled their deck, so I'm going to start with Aragorn here. I guess I will equip Time of Need and put 2 successes on top. And we're moving to Gimli. And this one's a no-brainer. We'll put Kinship in and Usual Suspects. If I haven't said this before, there is so much shuffling of these character decks. You absolutely need to sleeve them. You're going to have damaged cards if you don't sleeve these decks with how often you have to shuffle them. All right, so that last one was Legolas. This one's Bilbo. This is a tougher choice, but I think I'm going to equip this weakness for Bilbo. Or I'm sorry, prepare it, and then do Usual Suspects. So we got the weakness out of his deck. Also, bear in mind, Legolas has an inspiration already because of his resourceful skill. And then Bilbo has one as well because he gets to start the game hidden. And then Aragorn's banner gives him an inspiration anytime somebody hides while they're near him. Okay, and then this one's Alina. The Traveling Song is not a bad one right now. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to take Traveling Song because I think in the early stage where they're all together, she can really do a lot of good with that. And then of course, she can hand out. Okay, so this is like where I'm already suffering. I can't read any of the tiles from here. So give me a second while I find 307. I got lucky. It was right on top. Okay, so I'm going to move the device this way, which would have caused all kinds of massive glare in the past. And see, you can see it's like much better. But just mind you folks, as the day goes on and the sun goes down, that's going to go away. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here. It looks like it's in the corner. It's right next to our characters because all the fog seems to be going to the right, going this way. And then you can see, like, in terms of the player board area, that's where it's going to be. All right, so it's saying that all the heroes are starting here in this portion of the cave. Now you are hopelessly lost and time is running short. The caves are drowned in shadow and you find yourself menaced by ethereal echoes from all directions. It may have been a mistake to follow the troll here rather than race to the Brandywine. Okay, and then we get a threat token right on our spot. That's always good. Unseen, a mysterious figure is watching your progress and leaving notes for you to find. Perhaps they are an ally, or perhaps they have their own agenda. There is another threat token here. And then it says the same thing. A mysterious figure is watching your progress and leaving notes for you to find. And there's a search token there. With chittering laughter, a group of goblins swarms into the dark cave with you. Oh, geez. They're right on top of us. So 2 goblins are on the same exact location we are. And then 2 more. And they each have banners, so let me get the right one. These ones have this little lightning bolt looking thing, and the other ones have, I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a crooked wand. Oh, it's a sword with like a halo around it. Okay. Actually, it was this way. Not that it matters, but the first ones. Okay, so now the next one is just 1 Goblin Scout with no banner at all. And then another Goblin Scout with a banner, and this one's elite. Your first concern is orienting yourself in the maze of caves. If you can get your, let's show you. If you can get your bearings, you are sure to find where Uluk is hiding. Hopefully you will not waste too much time in the process. Objective updated, find the way out of the caves. Okay, well, as you can see, we got quite the crap show in our location. So we can spend an entire turn just fighting our way out. And I think we're gonna have to, because I don't think I can outrun these goblins. And then trying to do any action other than attack them means they're all gonna get to take pot shots on us. So what do we do? Well, the first thing we can do is Legolas can spend an inspiration to move 1 space without provoking attacks. So we can actually get Legolas to move a space and then attack from there. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spend an inspiration, and Legolas is actually gonna move out of this location. He does not provoke any attacks. Excuse me, and I'm gonna put him here. Oh, let me make sure that we really are starting our turn. Yes, we are. And here's what's interesting. None of the other tiles are out yet. The fog is showing us that it's going to go this way, but I don't have an ability to go, hey, I'm going to explore. So we have to resolve these tokens in order to figure out how to move on. So I'm going to put him here knowing that we're probably going to go that way. And then he's going to spend his 2 actions just killing the crap out of these things. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go after the multiple creatures here. So we're going to go after this one first. And remember, I possibly have cleave now. So that's really nice. So we're going to attack. It's a 4 draw. And right there, we already know we have 2 successes because they were on top of his deck. And so then there's 3 and 4. So we're not going to do anything more than 2, I don't think. So if I click on this guy, we have cleave. So with our new bow that we just got, 2 successes is 5 hits and a cleave. And you can see here, that's more than necessary. So once I hit cleave, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I even have a 5th hit. So we just took out those 2 goblins. Bada boom, bada bing, all in one. And so himself or a nearby hero gets an inspiration. I'm going to give that to him because he still has another attack. And those 2 goblins are kaput. This is National Russian Collusion Appreciation Month. So we're going to use the word kaput. Because maybe these fantasy goblins actually had Russian collusion, because apparently no actual American did. All right, moving on to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you can see there's only 1 success, but I do have this, and I will spend my 1 inspiration to get 2 successes. And in doing so, I'm going to get 2 hits again, and we're going to go after these 2 guys, and it's going to be the same outcome. We're gonna cleave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then boom. I've just killed 4 of the 6 goblins with Legolas. So he did a good job. Now, I want to make it clear, the hunter skill the hunter skill only helped us in so much that I was able to move 1 space. And I'm going to give that inspiration to him again. I'm going to let him have it, I think. Yes. So we got 2 of them left and lots of stuff left. He wasn't able to resolve the thing that's on his space. So I'm going to go ahead and we know Aragorn has a whole bunch of successes on his. So, you know, when he prepared. So we're going to go ahead and start with him. And we're going to attack this guy. So Aragorn only gets to draw 3 because of his might is only 3. But we know 1 success, 2 success. That was from just preparing and scouting. And then he drew a lazy, right? So he only got 2 successes. But that should be enough. And we were going to take on, oh, the elite guy is actually a lot worse. Ugh, we might not have enough. It was enough for the other one. Okay. 2 successes is 5 hits. All right, so unfortunately, that's all we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. It's not enough to kill him. Now, if I would have had a 3rd success, that would have done the trick, but I did not. So the enemy is going to be able to attack him, and so his agility is going to negate. He gains a boon if he can somehow take no damage. So Gimli's going to tell him not to bother checking. He's going to guard 3. Okay, so we're going to play that right away. And in guarding, while he's in the same space as Aragorn, Gimli gets an inspiration from that because that's what the banner, his banner says anytime anybody rests, guards, or hide, you get an inspiration. So we're going to do that, and he will gain a boon. So what boon would he like? There's determined, emboldened, although he's going to potentially lose that, and hidden. I think those are the only 3 boons you can choose from. In his case, I'm going to go ahead and do determined. And that means that he can discard any cards from a check and draw that many more. But then he loses his determined ability or boon. You know what? The hidden might be better. I'm going to give him hidden. Because then he actually gets to add damage or avoid damage. All right, so done. Okay, so it wasn't quite enough, so we're going to attack again. And there's 1 success, 2 success. That should be enough to kill it. And look at this, I shuffled a fear card in his deck. That's not going to do us any good. And then here's the 3rd one, which is a dud. So 2 successes, though, is 5 hits. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took both of his actions, but he took out the elite one. And he's going to give that inspiration to himself. Okay, so elite goblin is out. We still have 1 left. And you know who's going to take that out. It's going to be Gimli. So we're going to start up Gimli here. And he, of course, has 1 success. And then there's 2, 3. There's his 2 successes and 4. He actually has 3 successes, which was pure luck. But we're going to go ahead. And 3 successes for him is any combination of stuff. But we have Sunder. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, he just obliterated it. I should have probably maybe had him go first. I didn't know I was going to get 3 successes with him. And his scout is dead, and somebody gets an inspiration. Now, Elena's harp will give somebody an inspiration if they have 0. Right now, Elena's the only one who has 0, so we don't want to give that to her. So we have this inspiration. I could give it to Gimli. And since he fought... we're going to put a success back on top of his deck because that's his skill. So I'm going to give this one, I think, to Legolas, because it'd be nice for him to have two. And Gimli has another action, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to resolve this, this threat. So he has to test, I think that's spirit. And wonderfully, dwarves have really good spirit, with a 4 in fact. And this one was on top of his deck, so he already has one of them. And then, they 2, 3, and 4. So there's 2 successes. And he passes. Now give me 1 second. I just got a text I have to respond to. My apologies. The world still moves on. Sorry, my boys are not home, so I still have to be a parent even when I'm playing my board games here. Okay, so I am done. Sorry for that interruption. And here we go. Pass. Finding a narrow tunnel into a new cave system, you bravely continue your search. All right, so the threat token is gone, and that just revealed some new stuff. So Gimli did well, and we got to find 303. All right, so I need to move this out of the way. Put the camera here, and it looks like it's gonna plug in like this. So I'm gonna maybe orient it a little bit more like that. So we at least have the next phase of stuff in place. I know most people didn't get a chance to move or do anything this turn. All right, so an exploration token is going there. And thankfully, nothing's happening there. Now, we are going to have something bad happen to us after 3 threat, which it just means at the end of our turn. And forgive me for a second. Oh, I felt that coming a long time before it happened. Gimli's turn is over. So all we have left is Elena and Bilbo. Okay, so Elena is going to move to here, where that search token is. And in doing so, she's going to, well, first of all, when Elena's turn starts, she had no inspiration, and her harp is going to give her one. So now everybody has inspiration. So she just got one. And then I'm going to play this, and so now she gets another one, and then 2 other heroes are going to get one. And those 2 heroes I'm going to choose to be Bilbo and Legolas. So, or I'm sorry, Aragorn. So everybody has 2 determination right now, except for Gimli. He has 1. Okay, now I'm going to interrupt the move. She's going to finish her move here. But I'm going to interrupt the move, and let's do this. A mysterious friend has left a message on the ground addressing all travelers. When you inspect the message signaling only a friend, it reveals to you that somewhere in this area is a thieves' stash. It almost sounds as if you're being challenged to find where it's hidden. Okay, so she has to test her wisdom, which is 3. So here's 1, 2, and 3, and it's all a dud. So I'm going to go ahead and spend both of her tokens. And this is one of those things where we don't know how many successes we need. Even though you search the area thoroughly, you never find the stash of valuables. However, you feel invigorated and ready to get back to your quest. You may scout 1 and then discard. So We never found it with just 2 successes. And then we scout 1. So I could equip this, but I'm just going to put it on top. And then we're going to finish her movement to there. And then Bilbo, we're going to go ahead and move. And he's going to go here and interact with this threat token. Let's get rid of that. And before you interact, look at the top card of your deck, but his top card is a success because we scouted. See, that skill is not very powerful because you always scout before you start the game, so or you scout in the rally phase. So if you scout and you put successes on top of your deck, it's useless to have this skill. Now, if you're one of those players who likes to, prepare your cards with the success symbols, I think it would be a lot more helpful. And so I'm probably just not playing it right. But anyways, that's the situation there. Now, when Elena ended her turn, she's going to get rid of this, and she's going to take that traveling song back into her possession. Because giving out determination tokens like candy is really one of the most powerful abilities she has. Now, the other thing that I just forgot is she spent 2 inspiration for her test, so she actually gets to give 1 to somebody, and she's going to go ahead and give that to Gimli. Okay, so now we're on Bilbo. We're going to do this little threat token here. A mysterious friend has left a message on the ground. Twisting script has been burned into the ground, but only the signature of a friend is immediately legible. What's more, the words themselves seem to give off a concerning heat to agility. Okay, his agility is 3. We know he has 1 pass, and then we're going to grab 2 more. Oh my gosh, he succeeded with all 3. Too bad he wasn't the one that did the wisdom check. This one, we only needed 2. And he passes. However, your friend did it. The script holds the power of flame and darkness within it. The longer you study the words, the more they seem to writhe on your own until you summon your will to destroy them with your weapon. I don't know what that meant, but I thought we were going to get a torch or something. But it was a waste. And then he will finish his turn here in this space, and we're going to go ahead and explore. And like usual, he gets the inspiration. Search token. This is painted images on the wall of the cavern. And another threat token. And another threat token. Okay, so this threat token was the cave looks deeper. And just so you understand, the threat token here said the same thing, and that's what revealed another tile. So this is very likely the one that's going to reveal more tiles. This one is, there's a monster, and there's something that dipped into the water. We don't know what. And our journey continues. However, our turn is over. Now, I wasn't very masterful in some ways here. And actually, I just realized something. Bilbo couldn't have done this. See, look, this is black. So he would have had to move here and then there, and then resolve one of these threat tokens. So I resolved this one instead. So please forgive me. I have no way to reverse that. I just can't. So he should have resolved one of these threat tokens, very likely this one, instead of that one. But we're going to have to just live with it the way it is. But Bilbo's still in the same spot, but instead of moving this way and over, he had to move here and here. There was no other way. He could have also resolved this threat token, I guess, along the way to there. So, yeah, it is what it is, and I can't go back and change that. Sorry about that. All right, we're going to go ahead and end the turn. So we're in the shadow phase, and every hero in darkness is going to suffer 2 fear. Spirit negates it. Okay, Bilbo does have a torch, but it only helps the people in his space, which is nobody but himself. Okay, so let's just do some tests here. And I don't think I want to do the torch yet. We're not out of the woods. I mean, we do have 2 charges of it, but see, that was the thing. If Bilbo would have stayed in a space with everybody else, that would have been better. Okay, so Aragorn's spirit is only 2. So there's 1 and 2, and he failed across the board. He can spend both of his inspiration, and he will, and he'll prevent it. His fear ability, I mean, he needs 6 before it's a problem. I don't know. I just don't like getting them because some of these are really hard to get rid of once you get them. And they also cause him not to be able to put cards on top of his deck and stuff like that. It's stupid. All right, so 1, this is Gimli. 3 and 4. So here you can see he had a bad draw, but he can spend 1, and he will, and now he has 2, and he took no damage or fear. Then we go to Legolas, whose spirit is only 2. There's a success, and there isn't one, so he'll spend 1. So this is really just draining all of our inspiration tokens we work so hard to get. And then Bilbo has 3. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. He's going to go ahead and take the fear. And I have a reason for it. The pipe he has gets rid of 2 face down fear. So we're going to hope that both of these become face down. Let's see. First one is flip this card face down. Perfect, perfect. And the second one is flip this card face down. So that's going to work out perfectly for us. And then the last one is Elena, who actually has a prepared success, and her spirit is 4. So there's bad, there's good, and there's ugly. So we got our 2 successes there, and the only person who took actual fear damage was Bilbo. Okay, so now threat goes up by 12, which is going to blow past this. A rumbling noise builds from deeper in the cave. The cave seemed unstable, and with no clear path out, you worry you could be trapped here forever should a tunnel collapse. Heroes decide, proceed with caution or hurry ahead. We're going to hurry ahead. Hurrying through the caverns, you alert another group of goblins to your presence. So, okay, more of them are coming. Okay, so we got goblin scouts here. 1, 2, 3 of them, in fact. And then we have 3 more, also in the same space. You know what, with Legolas's cleave ability, we might be able to take him out just fine. The ground shakes and rocks fall from the ceiling. Each hero suffers 2 face down damage. All right, so now we gotta look at our cloaks. Aragorn, before you suffer face down damage, you may prevent 1 of that. So he gets 1. Gimli's just gonna get 2. Legolas can prevent 1 if he spends his inspiration. He'll just take the 2. Bilbo, I think, has to take 2. Let me look at his cloak. Bilbo can spend an inspiration to reduce it by 1, so he will. And then Elena, I think, is the same deal, but she has no inspiration, so she has to take 2. All right, so our hurrying, I guess, causes all kinds of bad things. And now we're in the rally phase. Okay, I need to shuffle everybody. My kids are texting me again, so let me take care of that so you don't have to endure watching me pause. And so I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'll see you in in a minute or two. Thank you for watching. Stay awesome.